Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. For this week's daily race on Gran Turismo Sport, we have a one-make race. It's going to be at Autodrome Lago Maggiore Center by using the Toyota Sports 800 1965. Group 4 is going to be at Branch Hatch Grand Prix Circuit. And Group 3 is going wet on Circuit de Spa-Francochamps for having a 7-lap challenge. Now let's begin for having a training challenge that this wheel might take the different conditions that this wheel might be getting ready to go. But this wheel might have the best recommendable choice that this wheel might be using on the racing rain tires, that this wheel might be given the best choice that this wheel might be needed to get started. Now I'm about to be ready to use with a Chevrolet Corvette C7 Group 3 with my very own library design. But this wheel might be needs to have a little change on the tires, that this wheel might be given the best ways to get started in to do it. But whatever it depends on, but this is definitely might be doing for the best to stick it to the racing rain tires as well. So before enjoying watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for the entertainment. So let's go and get ready to race, and let's get it started. This is going to be a new racing lesson on Spa-Francochamps for a Group 3 race, folks. So I hope this is going to be quite given the best qualifying time that this wheel might get set up to be ready to go. But this is going to be very slippery out there, so just going to have to try to keep it up on the oversteer, that this wheel might be finding a good position, that this wheel might have the good inside turns to be performed. Now, hope this is going to be taking a good warm-up for the test. So hope this was going to be taking the best recommendable tires that this wheel might goes with the racing intermediate or the heavy wet tires is going to be quite taking the best suitable choice. But if possible for every GT players who really wants to go with the racing hard tires, but this is going to be quite taking the well extended for durability that this wheel might be given the best suitable for recommend. But it's definitely might be super tough, so we should probably might do the best to stay with the racing rain tires, that this wheel might work perfectly on the rainy day track. Now, hope this is going to be taking some few turns, just going to have to keep up with the different mobility, but looks like spin outs is definitely might be giving a hardcore risk, so we have to be very careful. Just going to have to take a little test that this wheel might have that example. So here we go, folks. 7 laps means taking on for a new role for having a 7th race on Spa-Francochamps, that this is going to be quite going on for the 2nd season. But just like the first season, like I'm just definitely might be given the one good time to be on the dry condition. So here we go. This is going to be getting started out on 7th place. But this is going to be quite giving a good lucky number 7 that this wheel might be getting ready to go. Commencing to do the rolling start, so I hope this is definitely might be giving a one good racing lesson. So let's get down to business to have a good clean race with a wet conditions, that this is going to be quite given the time of the risk. Now it's going to be taking some few smooth of the techniques, so just going to find a good rhythm that this wheel might raise up the acceleration. But if possible to giving a one good launch on the throttle, that this wheel might have to take the final corner. Just gonna have to take that first turn, so hope this is gonna be quite getting slippery. There you go. Looks like this is gonna be taking a one good main step of the focus, that this is gonna be quite coming handy. Here comes the upper hill turn, so just gonna have to try to keep it nice and slow. Just gonna have to give it one good lean position, that this is gonna might need that balance to keep it steady. Now it definitely might be quite doing good for having that gap distance, that this wheel might come in helping out to do everything we could. But this is gonna be quite taking the one racing workout, that this is gonna might need to take a lot of braking points on each specific turns that this is going to be on the handling. Just going to try to avoid getting hit by other drivers who are about to take one attempted recovery, that this is going to might need to take some few circuit skills, that this will might need to go again. But it's going to be pretty hard for all of us. But this is going to be taking a one best moment to have Just save a race for a rainy day. That's how every GT players really wants to do it. But taking a dry track, that this wheel might be taking the best skills, that this wheel might be taking the good techniques, that this wheel might have a good smooth upper hand, that this is going to be taking the better turns to go passive. But this is going to be quite doing better to have the throttle to keep it well maintained while going on to the better corners. But it definitely might be taking a little slow time. Just try to keep going passive for the moment, folks. That should probably doing much better to have a one good slower effect, just like taking on the dry track. Now, this is going to be quite taking the one good full course on the straight. Looks like I'm getting the hang of this. Just like I just definitely tried to do everything I could since the first season of the Manufacturer Series of the 2019-20 Exhibition Series at the Red Bull Ring. It was definitely might be quite given the first time for all of us, but this is definitely might be taking some few training that this wheel might be needed to perform. Taking the better slow turn onto the final corner of the chicane. Now, this is going to be quite going forward onto the second lap. This is going to be quite giving the best suitable fastest lap, that this is going to be quite going on the wet track. 2 minutes and 46.562 seconds. Looks like Jumbo Fig 24 just definitely might be taking a new set of a fastest lap time. But this is going to be quite taking the first start that this one might do for one racing bitter work, that this is going to be quite given the time to do it. But this is definitely might be giving the best ways to have that racing wet tires, that this will might give it well extended for having a good time to do it. But if possible to have that fuel, that this will might keep it well monitored checked whenever it's going to be at 50%. Just going to have to keep an eye out on the fuel map, that this will might be given the best ways before running out of gas, that this will might go into the pits. Now, hope this is definitely might quite come in handy, that this is going to be taking a one steady grip, that this will might take the inside turns, but only takes few gap distance, that this will might buy some time. Why I hope this challenge is all about taking a wet conditions, that this is going to be quite taking a lot of precision, that this will might goes for one handling passive, that this will might goes one way or another. Just gonna have to keep the pressure up to stay on the good balance. I hope everybody's doing well. This is going to be quite doing a better balancing up on the grip, that this will might keep it steady. Just gonna have to land it in onto the apex. This is definitely might be quite getting a one good push, that this one might have to catch up for only 2.7 seconds on the gap distance up ahead. But you know, it's definitely might be quite very good to have a one good racing training out there, that this is going to be quite giving the best steady grip, that this will might going onto the wet track, that this is going to be quite very impressive. Just like we did on the dry conditions back then, when we were having a 7-day challenge, that this is going to be quite taking the best ways to go on. But this is going to be quite different, folks. But different laps is definitely might be goes by only -1, that this will might take 7 laps, that this is going to be quite given the good racing skills, that this is going to be quite come often. Now, hope this is definitely might be giving a one good aggressive work skills, that this is going to be quite coming on for taking one good straight before taking on to the upper hill to take the left turn through the right. Looks like Son Loves You Moms is now going on to 7th place. Looks like he's definitely might be doing better to keep up the racing workouts. Now going on to the braking points, just gonna have to take a little hard right before taking on the lean left. That might be giving some few open space that this wheel might be given a few chances to do it. Oh my gosh, this is going to be quite getting a little bit loosened up on it. This is definitely might be giving the important tip. Just try to stay on the inside of the track, folks, while going onto the corner. This is going to be quite taking a good strategy tips when we're on the rain. Just going to keep it nice and steady, but this is definitely might be getting a little bit closer to take. But it only takes for only a single lap to do a lot of practice that this wheel might do the time trial before this wheel might be getting on for having one good race that this wheel might be taking a few efforts that this wheel might need it. Now, looks like this is going to be giving a one good speed on the throttle that this wheel might be given the best handling skills that this wheel might go slightly. There you go. Looks like this is going to be quite giving a good clean turn. Just go with the flow for having a one good inside turns that this wheel might goes for the right direction. Now it's definitely might be taking a few techniques that this wheel might need it to take one good flow of the effort that this wheel might have the best ways to perform. Now looks like Sun Love You Moms is now passing me on to 6th place. Now this is going to be quite giving the good rain lights that this wheel might be giving the best hazard lights that this wheel might be going in on the blink onto the rear. Now, hope this is definitely might be keep it well managing up to maintain the pace, but this is going to be quite stay situated that this wheel might be keep it well strategized. I hope Sun Loves You Moms just definitely might be given the best racing skills that this wheel might do for a rainy day basic workout that this wheel might goes on to the higher skill wheel might be doing the best. Looks like he did pretty good, but it only takes for only short gap distance that this wheel might be giving a good flow, that this wheel might be giving a good speed to go in. Hope this is going to be taking a little power slide that this wheel might going in. Alright, just gonna have to keep going forward, so hope this wheel might be need that fuel check that this is gonna be quite going in. But this is gonna be getting a little nearly halfway mark on the lap. Better have to go with the 5th lap that this wheel might have the best time to go to the pits. Oh boy, just keep it nice and steady. Looks like blue light is now definitely might be giving a signal, so hope this is definitely might be giving way for faster cars to proceed. That's definitely might be giving a signal. It looks like the last place driver is now definitely might be having a little challenging time out there. But this is definitely might be giving a much possible to see if there's any last place driver who is definitely might be having a little hard time. So maybe this is definitely might be important that this wheel might do the best to stick with the racing rain tires, that this is going to be quite doing good to have that better grip. But it takes a flow technique that this is going to be quite doing the best ways to perform. But it's going to be taking a one good smooth on the curve, but try not to do anything to be going up aggressive, that this is definitely might be giving the best ways to pull out for. Looks like this is going to be quite taking a little attempted fail to do it. Looks like I have to catch up. But note to self, folks, don't try to make that mistake onto the final corner of the chicane. That wheel might instantly get in the spin out, that this wheel might be given the ways to go again. But I hope this is definitely might be giving one racing example tip. Just try to keep it well focusing up on the grip, because that might be loosening up on the balance, that this wheel might be keep it nice and steady to be in the flow. So it looks like I'm about to catch up to the rest. It looks like this is definitely might be taking 2 seconds to try to going in to make one attempt of recovery due to the mistake. But no penalties to be affected for me. But it's only just for having a loss of a grip that this is definitely might be getting a little bit slipped off by now. Well, looks like this is going to be given the best call, that this wheel might going into the pits. Hope this wheel might be going on to lean forward, that this is going to be giving you one fuel map for use in case of emergency. Just be reminded, folks, just going to have to use the fuel map when we're on the rainy day track. This is going to be quite given the best recommendable to stop at lap number 4 before going into the 5th lap. This is going to be quite giving a one important demonstration that this is definitely might be given the different ways to race on Circuit de Spa-Francochamps. Now it looks like I'll have to proceed, but this is about to get very closer it takes to stay in 10th place, that this might goes in onto the mid-bottom. Just gonna keep it nice and steady on the inside. Hope this is gonna have to make it in the pit stop in one piece. Only 4% remaining. Now only 3% remaining. Just gonna have to keep it up. Okay, looks like Little Spike GTS just like my activity. Now it's gonna be getting closer to the pit stop. Hope this is gonna be quite giving the 1% remaining. Here it comes. This wheel might be having a one dropper to be in the pits, that this is going to be giving this best signal time. Alright, looks like I just finally made it in. Now, good thing that this is going to be quite good to have the Racing Super Soft tires that was definitely featured for this week. So I hope this is definitely might be quite very good for every GT players who really wants to go for it. Now, all tires are good as new. Now this is definitely might be given the best important ways to have that fuel that this wheel might going in. Now time to go for a little pit out, and this is going to be quite stopping at 12th place. Now this is going to be quite doing better, that this wheel might need to use the fuel map, that this wheel might keep it well monitored, checked. But it's definitely might be quite very important to keep a good eye on the fuel whenever it's going to be quite having a hard time. Now let's get back on the rush, and this is going to be quite giving a one good chase, that this wheel might be on the way to take a single overtake. Okay, just going to have to try to keep that gap distance to keep it well balancing up, but the grip is definitely might be getting a little bit loosened up, so I have to keep it well stabilized to keep it maintained. Hard turns to go on the inside. Looks like he's turning on the hazard lights, but this is going to be quite giving a one tough choice, that this wheel might need to stay well maintained. It's going to be quite very difficult to find a good ways to get nearly close. There you go. Looks like this definitely might be staying on the second gear, that this is going to be quite getting closer for front engine rear and the mid-engine rear race car, that this is going to be quite taking the tough track, that this wheel might have to stay on a good steady condition. But there will be always having some spare sportsmanship rating if we have to take that good upper skill advantage that this wheel might be taking in. Now it looks like the fastest lap is Hyperion 25. It did definitely might be taking the good run time for only 2 minutes and 40.530 seconds. Looks like Hyperion has definitely did pretty well. This is going to be quite taking a good technique, racing skills that this will might go with the flow. And here we go. Looks like this is going to take the final lap. Will might get proceed. So let's go forward to get it on. And this is going to be quite taking a lot of passive / aggressive skill that this is going to need to take plenty of good racing responsibility skill to do it. But this is going to be quite very harder to get. Here comes taking on that hard turn. Try to avoid getting caught in the penalty. This one might have that good apex that this is going to be quite going on the good skill. Now, looks like this is going to be taking the good full straight. Nope, looks like that was going to be taking a lot of poor effort out there. Man, can't believe it, that was so close. Kind of say I'm just definitely might be loosening up on that grip. So this is how it happens, that if two drivers have definitely might be getting a little bit loosened up on the grip, that might be prevent a loss of a spin out that this is definitely might be pretty hard to get. Now it is definitely might be pretty tough, folks, but this training is definitely all about taking a lot of grip will might be need to take onto the turns that this is going to be quite very tougher it gets for a rainy day track. Now, looks like this is going to be quite getting closer in onto the final stretch, but we all know this race is about to get super hard out there, but this is definitely might need to keep up the hard work. We might be do everything what we could to take us one good way to success, but possible ways to try to do some more practice that this is going to be quite taking a lot of few efforts that this boat might have to keep it in for having a one good passive race that this boat might have a good skills to keep it nice and well balancing up to keep it perform. But it is going to be quite very slow on the turn, so if we have to get used to it, but this is definitely might be taking a lot of balance that this boat might need to take plenty of required skills to go in. But we also might need to do wherever we could. Now, looks like this is going to be quite getting proceed to go on for only one more final corner that this will might take the final stretch. But it definitely might be quite getting a little bit more slippery out there. So we just definitely might need to have a respectful behavior moment. So it looks like time's up, and this is going to be quite giving the time to have a race over. Now, it was definitely might be quite very good to take the first day on the challenge, but it takes plenty of few chances that this one might be having a good clean race to do it. But it was definitely might be needs to do a lot of work. But we got a long way to go for this week, and this is definitely why how we just definitely might need to do some training to be on a rainy day track. So I hope this is definitely might be very good to have the first day on the track, but this is definitely might be quite better to have a one good steady precision that this boat might be needs to have the best choice for having a good use for the tires. Two racing rain tires that this boat might go to intermediate or the heavy wet. But this is definitely might be quite very good out there. But all we need to do is to have a one good precision skill, even the pit stop strategy that this boat might have a one time for use before taking on the fourth lap before going to the fifth lap. But at least that this is going to be quite very good, well organized, that this is going to be quite taking the best ways to do a lot of good training out there, folks. Now, Hope this is going to be getting ready to go for day 2. So let's get some training to be prepared. Be sure to do the best racing skill while you can to be on the rainy day track of Circuit de Spa-Francochamps for a Group 3 race. But this may require a lot of steady grip that this boat might have to deal with a lot of turns that this boat might go on the handling effect. But it takes plenty of risk, so we have to be very careful, try not to lose a lot of balance that this boat might prevent a spin out. So let's be very careful, because this is going to be quite taking a lot of racing workout to do perfectly that this boat might need to perform. Alright folks, glad that you really enjoyed this race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads, and the links in the description down below if you want to see more. And library block videos are available to watch anytime you want, so this will be the entertainment showcase about different cars with libraries I have been made. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for continuing on the daily race on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay clean.